open debate, and I call on George Adam to be followed by John Wilson.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. I too welcome this bill and congratulate Sandra for bringing it forward. I maybe don't thank her so much telling me how much of an internet sensation that Cameron Buchanan has now become since his YouTube actual appearances. But one of the debates that we're having, it's another one of these debates, Presiding Officer, it's very personal to me, because, as most of you know, my wife Stacey has multiple sclerosis and, as such, has mobility issues. And it's one of these things that, unless you actually live with it, like Cameron Buchanan or Stacey, you really, you don't understand what it's like, the frustration. It was actually quite funny listening to Mr Buchanan talk about his frustration if there's an obstacle in his way and how polite he mentioned how he would get round it. I can assure you my wife may be many things, but polite in a situation like that would not be one of them. Because that is the issue, is having the decency for people to be able to get about their business, to be able to get from one end of the town to the other. That's what this debate is about. And it's one of the things I'm reminded often of my time when I was a member of Renfrewshire Council and I became, Derek Mackay, ironically, appointed me the Renfrewshire Access Panel member for the Council. And I heard the issues from the access panels about difficulty. It wasn't just the problems that I knew, and let's not kid ourselves, although it's part of my life, it's Stacey that's dealing with it on a daily basis, it's not me. So I could hear firsthand the difficulties that people had. And these access panels, there's 47 throughout Scotland, of which they know what's best for the people in their areas. They know the difficulties in mobility and the problems. And I think I would encourage more local authorities and others at this stage to actually work with them to try and find solutions to the problems, because they are willing to do that as volunteers to make sure they can make that difference. And I'm reminded of one of the actual umbrella organisation for the access panels, the Scottish Disability Equality Forum, and they're people, Presiding Officer, of wonderful taste, because they made me their national patron. And but one of the things that they mentioned was what Ken McIntosh was talking about was it isn't so much of hitting someone with a big stick with regards to the issue, it's about education. It's actually, they believe that they could help actually educate drivers in this situation so that they knew that it wasn't just that 10 minutes, that lack of thought that that driver has for that 10 minutes could be the difference between that person making a doctor's appointment, a hospital appointment, or something to do with their own business and what they're actually doing in work. So these are the things that can make the difference, and I can understand why people become so frustrated in this situation. A number of years ago I attended Renfrewshire Access Panel's Open Day, and one of the things they did was give you an example of what it's like to be a disabled person. Now, I already obviously knew from Stacey's experience, so the then Provost, Celia Lawson, went in a wheelchair and accessed the Renfrewshire House to see the council building, what it was like. I used a pair of visually impaired spectacles. Now, the funny thing was, when I got into Renfrewshire House, I nearly battered my head off of one of the TV screens because Renfrewshire Council had not thought that someone with a visual impairment would be 6'3". And it's that lack of thought when it comes to these things that is one of the problems that we have when we're dealing with many of these issues. And I would say that we have to make sure that the Scottish Disability Equality Forum, I would say they have to be a statutory body in the planning of all kind of future planning process. But I would also say that we need to work with these groups. We need to, because they know the individuals, they know the areas, and they know what they want to do. So, Presiding Officer, I would say that we need to encourage this bill. We need to make sure that we put this forward, because we would then be putting a message out there to people in Scotland that we actually are trying to help them. But it isn't about a blunt instrument. It's about making sure that we can actually educate drivers, ensure that we give everybody, because this is a debate about equality, it's about the right of individuals to be able to get from one end of our communities and towns to the other. And that's why I'm backing Sandra White in this debate, and I wish her all the best, because I can see the difference it can make to people's lives.
John Wilson.